Good afternoon. Welcome to YHWH Learning Channel. My name is Brother Charles Williams. This afternoon we're going to speak on a topic called heart trouble. Let's first look at John chapter 14 verses 1 through 6.
Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in Yahweh, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. And whither I go ye know, and the way ye know. Thomas saith unto him, Rabbi, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? Messiah saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
Okay, now there's a known fact in the United States that heart disease is the #1 killer in America. This is a medical fact. It's because the way we eat and what we eat here in America. But the sad thing is, it's not that heart disease is the #1 killer here in America. It's that it's the #1 killer spiritually of all mankind. But it doesn't have to be that way. Heart disease. Now you would say, well, how is heart disease a spiritual killer? Well, that's what we're going to be speaking about today. Okay, Messiah said in the very first verse we looked at in John chapter 14, he said, let not your heart be troubled. And that is heart trouble. Messiah is saying he doesn't want our heart to be troubled. Okay? The Bible talks a lot about the heart, as in the center of your being. It's the fountain from which all your desires and actions flow. Matthew chapter 15, verses 18 and 19.
But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceedeth evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornication, thefts, false witness, blasphemies.
Okay, now look at this. Everything comes from the heart. No wonder we have spiritual heart disease. Okay, before anyone commits an outward act of adultery, they have the inward sin of lust already in their heart. It starts from the heart. A person doesn't just walk up and start having adultery. They've already pre-planned it in their heart. This includes, but it's not limited to, murder, hatred, stealing, covetousness, dishonesty with others, and self, cursing, and anger. Let me encapsulate this whole teaching in this saying. We're going to continue on with the teaching, but I'd just like to encapsulate this teaching in this saying. The heart of the human problem is the problem of the human heart. The whole problem we have, the whole heart of the problem that we have, all the problems we have is a problem with the human heart. It all begins with the heart. Okay? Now, Proverbs 23 verse 7 points this out. Proverbs 23 verse 7.
For as he thinks in his heart, so is he.
So we see here, okay, we see as a man thinketh in his heart. Now you would say, how can we think in our heart? Well, our heart is our physical. We have a physical heart, then we have a spiritual heart, which is our mind. As a man thinketh in his heart, in his head, in his brain, so is he. We are what we think. We are exactly what we think. We are nothing more and nothing less today than what we are in our heart. You see, everything within us starts in the heart. We are, the old saying that when we eat, a long time ago, I remember the saying, you are what you eat. Well, in this case, it's the same principle. It's you are what you think. What you think is what you are. Your ticker, your heart might be fine today, but do you have spiritual heart disease? Now, there's 7 examples in Scripture of heart disease. You might not have ever known what these were, but there's 7 examples in the Scriptures. Let's look at each one of them. Okay? Sorry about that. Okay, the evil heart. Genesis chapter 6, verse 5.
And Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Wow, look at that. His heart was only evil continually, because evil, sin, begins in the heart. No matter what anybody will tell you from the pulpit or anywhere, the sin starts in your heart. And these people, back then, the heart was on evil continually. That their heart, they never stopped thinking of sin. It was all sin all the time in Genesis chapter 6. That's why Yahweh had to come down and destroy the earth with the flood. It's because their hearts were on evil continually. The second one, a fainting heart. Genesis chapter 45, verse 26.
And told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and he is governor over all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart fainted, for he believed them not.
And Jacob's heart fainted. The second version of, second example of heart disease. His heart fainted because he believed them not. He did not believe that Joseph was still alive. Okay? The third one, a hard heart. Exodus chapter 4, verse 21.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, When thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I put in thy hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go.
Wow, isn't this interesting in this scripture? First of all, here's the hard heart. Another example, the third example of a heart disease. But interestingly, it says, I, Yahweh, will harden his heart. Yahweh hardened his heart because he had to further prove, he had to further test or further afflict Pharaoh and his people until he got to the 10th plague, which is the firstborn. But look at that. He hardened the heart of Pharaoh. Now, the fourth one, a hateful heart. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
Okay, it's thou shalt not hate thy brother where? In the body? No, in thine heart. It all starts with heart. That's why we have heart disease, spiritual heart disease. And because the hateful heart, the scriptures are very clear in the book of Leviticus that we're not to hate our brother at all. in our heart. Hate just doesn't start just anywhere. It starts in the heart. 5, the fifth one. A discouraged heart. Numbers chapter 32, verse 9.
For when they went up unto the valley of Eshcol and saw the land, they discouraged the heart of the children of Israel, that they should not go into the land which Yahweh had given them.
A discouraged heart. Another example of heart disease. They were discouraged. They discouraged the children of Israel in their heart. You see how much heart disease is in the scriptures. We might not have never noticed how much heart disease is in scripture, but it is. The next one, the sixth one, proud heart. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 17.
And thou shalt say in thy heart, my power and the might of my hand hath gotten me this wealth.
Wow, look at that, a proud heart. You talk about a proud heart. Do we know anybody that has a proud heart? Do we have a proud heart? Do we have a little pride that we have hidden away? We have to be careful. We have to take that out because it could cause spiritual heart disease. And the final one, a deceived heart. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 16.
Take heed to yourselves that your heart be not deceived, and you turn aside and serve gods and worship them. Serve other gods and worship them.
Okay, we see here, your heart should not, that your heart be not deceived. He says, be not deceived. In the script, in the New Testament, he uses that term a few times. He said, be not deceived. Don't be deceived. Where can we be deceived? In our heart. He's not just talking anywhere. He's talking about our heart. That we don't be deceived in our heart and turn aside. Because it said there that we could be turned aside and we start serving other gods. And we don't want to be serving other gods because we know what the scripture says. Have no other God before me, as the first commandment says. Guess what? I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know if you've noticed this, but all those 7 scriptures that I just gave were only in the first 5 books. They were only in the first 5 books. So the scripture talks so much about the heart. In the book of Proverbs, it talks about the heart. In the New Testament, it talks about the heart. The scripture says that the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who could know it? We don't even know our own heart. Our heart is deceptive. We don't know it, our own heart. We don't know how our heart really is. What is the cure for a troubled heart? What would be a cure for a troubled heart? I mean, we have cures for a physical troubled heart. You know, we have surgeries and so on and so forth. Well, how about the spiritual heart? The first thing we need to do is to have a strong faith. The scripture said in the very first verse, let not your heart be troubled. You believe in Yahweh, believe also in me. You see, a strong faith will tell you, don't let your heart be troubled. Believe in Yahweh. Believe also in His Son. You see, there's a lot of people out there that have faith. There's a lot of people out there that have faith. You see, the atheists have faith that there is no Elohim. The evolutionists had more faith than any of us that, we had the Big Bang Theory. The farmers seed, they seed in faith, knowing that it will germinate and become life. In the middle of winter, we have the faith that spring will eventually come. A surgeon makes an incision believing by faith that the wound will heal. You pay your insurance with faith that if there comes a time, they'll do what they claim. Right now, if you're sitting down, you put your faith in a chair that you're sitting in. You exercise faith each time you flip a light switch on. Your politicians make promises and you have faith that, okay, that might be a bad example. Let's not go there. Okay. Human achievement hinges on faith. The human achievements hinge on faith. Columbus himself set sail in faith that there was a new world out there. Thomas Edison never gave up even after 100 failed filaments, believing that eventually he would find the one that works. And then, boom, a great idea. Some people claim that they would get saved, but don't have enough faith. There was a man named Bill Nye, said he doesn't possess the faith to just believe a book. Yes, he does. You see, we have a book that we can believe. We have a book called the Scriptures, the Bible, that we can believe. We have that book, and we have to believe it. We have to have the faith that what is in that Scriptures, in them words, in that book, is good for us, and we need to be obedient to it. Okay, Romans chapter 12, verse 3.
According as Elohim hath dealt to every man the measure of faith.
Okay, look at that. Every man a measure of faith. Okay, we have measurements, cup, quart, gallon, so on and so forth. According to the scripture, Yahweh's given every man a measure, a certain portion of faith. We can't say we don't have faith, because we do. But, look at this. It's not about how much faith you have. It's about the object of your faith. It's not about how much faith we have. We can have the faith to move mountains. But where does our faith lie? You see, we can have... There's a lot of people out there that have the faith that the universe came from an explosion, including human consciousness, self-awareness, and that's a whole lot of faith. But it's misplaced in a poor object. You see, everybody believes in a Big Bang Theory, that the stars and everything were created, including humans, that we came into being. But this is poorly misplaced faith. Because Yahweh said in the beginning, the world was in darkness first. It is worthy of our faith. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2.
Looking unto Messiah, the author and finisher of our faith.
Okay, we see looking unto Yahweh, Messiah, the author and finisher of our faith. He is our faith. Our faith shouldn't lie in this world. Our faith should lie in Messiah, because he is the one who is in control. He's uniquely qualified as a man. He understands the circumstances. He knows how we feel and understands pressures and temptation, as well as fleshly weakness. You see, it's very descriptive in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 15.
but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin.
Okay, he was tempted in all things. He was tempted in everything that we are tempted with, yet without sin. He did not sin. He overcame flesh and desires so he would not sin. He understands what causes our hearts to be troubled. He is completely understanding. He knows. On the other hand, as Yahweh, he has the power to do something about it. You see, he knows he knows all about it. Okay? He is the solution. Messiah knows the problem. He is the solution. You see, let me explain it. You see, he began his ministry by being hungry, yet he's the bread of life. Messiah ended his earthly ministry by being thirsty, but yet he's the living water. Messiah was weary, yet he is our rest. Messiah paid tribute, yet he is the king. Messiah was accused of having a demon, yet he cast out demons. Messiah wept, yet he wipes all our tears away. Messiah was sold for 30 pieces of silver, yet he redeemed the world. Messiah was brought as a lamb unto the slaughter, yet he is the good shepherd. Finally, Messiah died, yet by his death he destroyed the power of death. You see, he's my light in the dark night. He's my comforter in the harrowing times. He's my friend when I'm alone, my strength when I'm weary, and my guide when I'm lost in my way. He is the cure for heart disease. He's the cure for a troubled heart. Messiah is the object of my faith. Let me give you this illustration. A dad worked on his roof. He asked the son on the ground to bring him a hammer. His son picked it up and climbed up the 4 rungs of the ladder. Halfway up, he froze. He couldn't move. He looked down and was afraid of falling. He began to look up, but would feel dizzy. What did his dad say? His dad told him, "Look at me and keep climbing." You see, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2 points this out. We already read this. Looking unto Messiah, the author and the finisher of our faith. You see, we're like that little child who's going up that ladder. And we're walking this walk towards the end. And we might stumble. The Messiah is saying to us, look unto me and keep walking. Keep climbing. Keep climbing. Keep going. We not only have to have a strong faith, we need to have a secured future. In verses 2 and 4 that we read, He's talking about heaven.
In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also.
You see, he's talking about heaven here. In my Father's house are many mansions. You see, we have to realize and have the faith that heaven is a real place. It is a real place. It's real is our world right here. But it's a world apart. It's not, heaven isn't just a state of mind like some people believe. We'll have glorified bodies there. And they'll touch down in real places. My future is secure. And when you know that, it makes the journey down here much easier. If we know our future is secure, our journey down here is much easier. Heaven is a certain promise. You see, there is a heaven. And there is a promise of heaven for those that believe. Romans chapter 8, verse 18.
For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
Okay. We're going through trials. We're going through tribulations. We're all going through that. In this world, the scripture says you will have trials. The scripture here says, the sufferings of this present world, we have to lean upon the scriptures here, because the scripture says that reckoning the sufferings of this present time, are you going through a rough time? Are you going through a trial and a tribulation? Maybe with family, health, finances, your home, job, employment. Just remember the scriptures that say the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared to the glory which shall be revealed in us. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17.
For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, works for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory.
Wow, look at that. A moment, the slight afflictions we have now are worketh far more exceeding in our eternal weight in glory. It's just a minor thing. It's just a drop. Our trials and our tribulations here on this earth are just a drop in the bucket compared to the glory of making heaven our home. You see, it makes a difference when you have a strong faith and that you know that your future is secure. The scriptures refer to heaven as a country. That shows vastness. A city. That shows population. A kingdom. And that shows order. But my favorite reference to heaven is that it is called home. The scriptures say, in my Father's house. If it doesn't have to be a mansion. The word mansion, it means abode or rooms, as in an abiding place, a place you abide or stay. And Yahweh is what makes it home. A home is where our heart is. They say home is where when you go there, stop. Gosh! I'll reread that paragraph.
Okay.
And Yahweh is what makes it home. A home is where your heart is. They say home is where, when you go there, they have to take you in. It's where you're treated the best and complain the most. Why? Because you feel at home to do so. No complaining in heaven, though. A strong faith, a secure future, and a stable foundation. That's the third and final point here. Verses 5 and 6 in John chapter 14.
And Thomas saith unto him, Rabbi, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? YHWH said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
Okay, the second law of thermodynamics is cited in science. Things are winding down, losing energy, etc. Things aren't getting better, but worse. And so with our world today and our world spiritually. Everything that's not nailed down is coming apart. And the devil is pulling up nails as fast as he can. You see, the world is what's that old saying, going to hell in a handbasket. Okay, and that's the way our world is going. If you've not been watching the news, you'll see that things are getting worse and worse in the world. We need a stable foundation. If not, we're going to be in trouble physically. And the same will be true spiritually. If we don't have a stable foundation, we'll be troubled emotionally and in our heart. But you know, Messiah is the sure foundation on where we can build our beliefs. He is that firm foundation that we can put all our faith in. You see, Messiah doesn't only just teach us the way to heaven or point us to the way to heaven. He is the way to heaven. Messiah doesn't direct us to heaven. Just direct us to heaven. He takes us there. You see, Messiah just didn't tell us the way to go. He literally takes us all the way. Now, for him to be the way, that means that excludes all other ways people believe. This is not politically correct, and I'm going to be labeled as narrow-minded. That's fine. But the scriptures say, narrow is the way. There's one door, and only one. So we'd all be wise to be so narrowly minded as to nail down the truth, to go through that narrow door of truth. Truth is the narrow way. You see, error is broad. What is 1 plus 1? The narrow answer would be 2. It's also the correct answer. But how many wrong answers could you give? I'm not being judgmental to say non-believers are going to go into hell. I'm not going there. I'm agreeing with Yahweh, who, by the way, is the only one who can get us to heaven. As a sinful man in a sinful world, what amazes me is there's only one way to heaven. But there's any way that stop. Gosh, I missaid that. Misquoted that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure how I'm going to, I'll just have to listen to it.
I'm going to pick up at that sentence there.
I don't. Yeah, I'll have to listen to the whole section. That's the only thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
As a sinful man in a sinful world, what amazes me is not that there's only one way to heaven, but that there's any way at all. I'm going to close with this. I am the way. Without Messiah, there's no going. I am the truth. Without Messiah, there is no knowing. I am the life. Without Messiah, there is no living. That right there, folks, is a stable foundation. If you have heart trouble today, Messiah will heal it. A strong faith is not about you. It's about who you place your faith in. And then your future is secure. No matter what happens, your road leads to home, which is built on a stable foundation, standing on the promises of Yahweh. We want to thank you very much for watching this video today. We ask that Yahweh bless you. Shalom.
Yahweh's Learning Channel thanks you for watching this video. We hope you were edified by this content. Reach out to us with the information provided on screen, or you may click on the links to view more of our videos. Please subscribe to be notified of new uploads. Until next time, Shalom.